Derek's mother is also the one who gave him Shutter Island when I started sending them letters about the behavior, and had asked for more seeds, which is what I had been referring to the letters that I'd given them. I had told them that I'm not trying to tell them anything, but I am letting them know the factual information and progression of events that are happening before it had to go to talking to the police. That was a full year before it was actually long. It was actually a year and a half, I think. A long time that I tried and tried and tried and tried, which is part of why I'm on TikTok now. Because this account is not for attention. This account is an aggregation of my consciousness. This is a place for me to put the things that I have to say that I haven't been allowed to say I've been speaking since I was 2, so I guess 36 years. I'm about to turn 38 in a month. 37 is supposed to be a star number if you look up the way that cells or molecules aggregate, and it relates to geometry. That's why it's an interesting number. There might be something about the shape of how old I am, I guess, that's leading to all this. I'm sharing because I'm not going to be in this process for much longer. I would like to go about my own life. Thank you very much. But I'm making sure that I have done a thorough job relative to every being that I have met, relative to every situation I've encountered, relative to all of the understanding that I have worked so hard to come to, and not kill myself through the process, right? Like, this has been difficult. This has been long. This is a third of my life. And the reason why in the whole Orwellian, like when Brave New World, they only lived to 35 before they'd take them out of society if they hadn't proved their worth scientifically or right? Your body does change. Like, there's a part of the process that the powers that be want you to stay in. Eventually it makes you sick. If it's not properly supported, and if it's the only part of the process you ever get to experience, it will make you sick. Because you don't get to have your regeneration. You don't get to have the serotonin side. You don't get to have your complete being. The reason why I included or added that his mother had started to try to communicate in that way again, that's not communication. That is the kind of thing that you do for the emperor if you're a jester, so that you don't get beheaded, right? The whole shoot the messenger thing. That is the kind of behavior that was necessary during the Cold War. That's been modeled for us in a lot of our media. The way that a lot of the grandmothers speak is because that was all they were allowed to speak like, or else their husbands would beat them, or else the government would fucking come to your door, Gestapo style. We are not living in that environment anymore, but because the ment has been trained and conditioned so thoroughly, I don't think most people are able to move past that version of communication, because it has been prohibitive for so long, right? My mom was actually trying to put schizophrenia into me to make me, what is happening in my environment? Until I finally realized, no, there are things happening in the environment. You absolutely can terrorize someone through the mail, through things that end up recommended to their IP address, things that, right? There are things like that that can happen. That's humans. That's what people are like now. Okay. That doesn't end up being insanity if you can properly process the stimuli that's coming in, right? So even though, yes, it was antagonistic, now it's more like swatting flies, where it's like, guys, no, you can go ahead and do that if that's how you want to use your energy. However, I am still speaking. Because it is important, not just to the world. I don't think I'm the savior of fucking anything. No, I'm not. However, I am responsible relative to my own process and experience. Yes, I am. And it is because I have taken that responsibility that I've been able to regenerate as much as I have. I've been injured, hurt, sick. There's so much bad stuff that has happened in my life that I'm still breathing. My heart is still beating, even though, right? And if there is anything for me to be proud of in this existence, it should actually probably be that. That not only is my body and brain relatively still here, but that I can still process things, because when you are beat out of your own awareness, yes, a lot of the time impossible to come back to being able to have comprehension, to being able to understand things. And when I mentioned the video game thing, you can't have the front to back, right? You end up with things like auditory issues, where you can't actually understand the words that people are saying and put them into the order. You go, huh? What? Because you can't process it. It's sort of like being constipated in a way. Like if things are not moving through you. It's funny, one of those sets that I had listened to where actually most of it was okay. They use peristalsis as one of the words for the process that is happening when they're like, try not to judge what is happening. Try to just, remember that you are part of the all. And the peristalsis is what it is called when you are digesting, squeezing the food through your intestinal tract. So good word to use, right? When it comes to actually getting what you need out of your shit.